Hi everybody, I'm Michelle with Stampin' Butterfly. Thanks for joining me. Today I wanted to share some tips and tricks on how to use our new Seaside Wishes, which is a hybrid embossing folder. So this is the card we'll be making, and it does some, lights are a little bright, there you go. We're going to use the blending brushes so you can see how to use those, as well as the die cut machine so you can see how to put the different pieces together. It's a little intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. So if you have any questions along the way, please pop them in the comments. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right place real quick and take a look and see. Let me know where you're joining me from, and then we'll get started on our card. So let's see, it looks like we're in the right place. Very good. Alrighty, so let's flip the camera down. So the Seaside Wishes bundle is on sale. It's usually the bundles are 10% off already. It's on page 73 of your catalog if you have the paper annual catalog. Right now through today, June 30th, you can get an additional 10% off. So it's a great deal. If you're a beachy person, this is a really fun bundle. There's some samples on here as well that you can see that you can make with your stamp set. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So just wanted to let you know where to find those products. All right, so of course we decorated our envelope. So we'll do a little stamping, but I think we'll start with the hybrid embossing folder. And I did pre-cut my pieces to save a little time. I mostly wanted to focus on showing you how to add a little texture to your card and how to use the embossing folder. So this is what we're gonna die cut and emboss. I think I cut it a little bit bigger. Yeah, I cut it a little bit different size than your normal card front because of the size of the embossing folder piece that we're gonna use. All right, so I'm gonna move some of these out of the way. And here's our stamp set. It's photopolymer, so you can see through those, makes it easier to line things up. And then we're going to take out, and then these are the dies. So you can see, let me pull the card back out. I already cut one of these in Calypso Coral, and then one of the twiggy things or the grass from the new Shy Shamrock color. And then our card base is the new basic beige, and that's the ink we'll be coloring our sand dollars with as well. And then we did some stamping in Night of Navy and some dots in the background to add a little texture. All right, so we're going to need that. We've already pre-cut the other pieces. We'll need the embossing folder. Put these out of our way. Little scratch paper. So what we want to first start with is inking up our embossing folder. So we're going to ink up the Stampin' Up side. And we're going to use our blending brush and the basic beige. So we're going to just rub our blending brush on there, and then we're just going to run it over here. Now, it doesn't really look like a whole lot, and if you don't get enough on there, not to worry, because we can always add more after we die cut it. So the beige is a little light. It's kind of hard to see on the embossing folder, but we're going to go ahead and add some more on there. Maybe a little bit more. Then we're going to close it up. Now you don't have to put the ink on there. You could do it after the fact as well. So, you know, you can do it either way, really. So now we're going to grab our dies and let's see, go ahead and layer them in. So I got to see which side is the texture side. I always forget which side we have to put them in that they fit snug. Okay, so your inky side is where they go. And you can rinse the ink off of these, by the way, so not to worry. If you wanted to know the size of the cardstock I'm using, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it's a little bit longer than our usual card base. So we're just going to set our paper in there. Probably should have gotten my die cut machine ready before I set my ink in there, but let's go ahead and get the machine ready. Now the other thing that's great right now, if you don't have a die cut machine, is these are on sale 10% off as well, the large and the small. Last night, if you joined me, we were using the mini machine, but today, because the dies are bigger, we're going to use the large. Now, the instructions are all on your plates, so we're going to use plate 1, and since we're using 3D embossing folder, we're going to use number 4, which is this gray plate. So we're going to go ahead. You always want to put your folded side through the machine first. Offset the plates a little bit so it's not flush as the first thing going through, and then you just want to get it started. You're going to wheel it through. Now you could emboss this just fine without the die cut piece and just have a really pretty embossed panel, which I don't think I brought any extras over for you guys to see. But okay, let's go ahead and move these out of the way and then take a look. So there you go. Again, with my lighting, hopefully you guys can see that. There's some fun ink on there. Now, like I said, you didn't have to put this in there, and you could just have this pretty dotted piece with your sand dollars in there. That works too. You can save this piece here and maybe do sand dollars in a different color and pop them up. So other things you can do. We never throw paper away, so we can find something else to do with that later probably. All right, so let's take a look at our card again. So I think I want a little bit darker around some of my edges, so I'm going to add a little extra ink. And you always want to start off the paper. Woo, that one came out too dark. That might be covered up under here. So, not to worry. We can change it up a little bit. So, I think I have enough ink on here. I'm just going to kind of roll over it and not re-ink it. But what's nice about adding the ink is it really shows the texture of your sand dollar. They look real, which is super cool. I am a beachy person, so I do really like this set. And then we're going to add a little more. Just keep running it in circles. But like I said, you always want to start off the paper, and I went a little crazy on that spot, so we're going to hide it. All right. Do a little more on this guy. Maybe. All right, I think that looks good. You could have also started with a basic beige and then added some color from that direction. All right, let's do a little stamping. We'll get our pieces out. So I just have this little skinny strip. I think it's the standard that is left over when you trim your 5 1/4 by 4 pieces of card front. I have like piles of those everywhere. All right, so we're just going to ink it up with some navy. I always like to flip it over and make sure I have even coverage before I stamp down. And then try to stamp straight-ish best I can. Ooh, okay, that looks pretty straight. And then I'm going to use my chamois to clean off the ink so I don't get it on things. Now we also need to add a little texture to this guy. So we're going to go ahead and use these little dots. And just randomly, now we're going to cover up the bottom, so the bottom's not as crucial, but we're just going to add some dots, and you can rotate the angle of your stamp. You can run it off the paper a little, which is good. Gives it different texture. You can put them close together, far apart. All right, I think we'll come down on this side a little more. Again, as much as you want or as little as you want. Okay, I think that's good for this guy. Go ahead and clean that off. And then let's add some pizzazz to our envelope since we have our ink out already. So we'll get all our stamping done. So as you can see here, I did some just in the corners of the envelope, or the like at a diagonal. So I like the texture in this stamp too. I don't know if you can tell, but it has like a edging in there, and it looks really pretty. Okay, now the inside of this card I didn't decorate at all. You can use some extra strips of paper if you wanted. It looks like I folded my card slightly crooked. Where's my bone folder? Try to even it out a little. Okay, that looks better. So I think I'm going to go ahead and open it up since the ink is out and put some little starfish on here. That looks cute. And you could do the other corners. You could do the sand dollar stamps in there. All right, so we'll clean that off. I think that's all the stamping we need. I don't trim great with a pair of scissors, so I'm gonna grab my mini chopper to chop the edge off of this banner just because I want it to be kind of straight and centered. So I'll go ahead and use that. I know some people are good with the scissors, but I don't tend to be for some reason. All right, I think we can assemble now. We have all our pieces. Let's see, I've got some dimensionals handy. Didn't bring any glue dots. All right, we'll just have to be really careful with our glue. So let me know if you have any questions or if you have the stamp set and have made any cards with it. All right, so we can go ahead and glue our base down. Let's get our liquid glue. And probably have a silicone mat somewhere too, which is always a good idea when you're using your liquid glue in case you go over the edge. All right, so we put our layer 1 down. We're going to use, this is that country wood designer paper. Just love it. And the blues and the beige in this really pick up nicely on this wood grain. Now it doesn't go all the way off, so I kind of made it so that you can leave a little border around it. And then we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of this guy. Let's see, I think this is a good size. Yep. Sometimes I need the mini dimensionals depending on how narrow the strip is. I'll just stick 3 of those on there. And then my original card, I did all the sand dollars flat, but you could pop some up if you wanted. I just did the sentiment popped up. So what we'll decide now is we're going to kind of lay out our card and decide where we want our pieces to go. So I don't like that edge. I'm going to hide that. I'll put that underneath. So you want to make sure you don't go off your card base. And then I liked the little green twiggy guy coming out here. I think I'll have that one go this direction this time. I put this across just because the little seam here kind of bugged me, so I used it to kind of cover across there. But you can, you know, align it however you like. And then, let's see, I want this guy to be sticking out, so this one might be a little lower. All right. So let's go ahead and add some glue to the sand dollar, and of course pick the pieces you like to stick out, and then work from there. So this one's going to go underneath a little bit, and then this one over here. And there's no right or wrong, you know, just arrange it however you like it. Now I left a little edge there so I can stick my grass in there. So put that guy here. I think I'll stick it out a little more than the last one. And then this is the tricky one. I would use a glue dot if you had a glue dot, but since I didn't bring any over here, we're going to try to dab little dots of glue around the coral and see if we can get it to stick on there. All right, that's not too bad. Hopefully it doesn't ooze out. Hold it down for a minute. Again, you could pop this one up as well if you wanted to give it a little more dimension. All right, and now we're going to do this guy on here. And we can put it here, there. Like I said, I liked it kind of lined up across here just because I didn't want to see that seam. So as you can see, it makes a quick and easy card, and the texture in there is just amazing. If you haven't tried the hybrid embossing folders, I'd really recommend it. We have a couple in the catalog. I think we have this one and then the one with the sentiments, which is super fun. I do have some samples of those, but I don't think I have them handy over here. All right, so there's our card. Went up a little higher with the sand dollar there, but you know, you can change things up. Now we need to add some bling bling. And the flat adhesive back pearls work really well with this. So I like the way the colors pick up on this one. So we're going to go ahead and pick up some gems. Put one over here. I have these really big ones, but I don't know if I want. Let's see. I usually like to hover over and see. I think I'm going to stick with the smaller ones. So one here. And kind of like the way I did it on the last one. So we'll be similar. But you could scatter them across your card however you please. Whatever looks really good for you. All right. That envelope has seen better days. We're just going to leave it out for now. Okay, so you'll have to let me know if you have one of these hybrid embossing folders and if you've tried this stamp set. But as you can see, you can make quick and easy cards with these. And it's a little scary at first, but once you get the hang of it and you know how to put your sandwich together and how to run it through the machine, it's really not that hard at all. So I hope you enjoyed that card. Again, it's the Seaside Wishes bundle that you can get on sale right now. If not, it's always 10% off when you buy the bundle, but it's an additional 10% off now. So have a great day, and I hope you guys enjoyed that card. Thanks for joining me.